I was trying to protect my head because I was coming back from having brain surgery, or actually technically skull surgery, and it's caused me all kinds of problems. And now it looks like his defense is going to be, I didn't attack anybody. Man, I was behaving strangely. People said he was getting up a lot, stretching a lot. Flight attendant told him to please get away from the bathroom. Don't hang out near the lavatory. And then something happened, for sure, because she got hurt. He's saying, I didn't attack him. Yeah, and then the other defense is he had the brain injury and he didn't really understand what he was doing. An attack like this is an intent crime. Otherwise, it literally becomes an accident if he's flailing his arms, for example. Well, either he did have brain surgery or didn't. Yeah, they can certainly verify a lot of his explanation. Yeah, of course. And then the witnesses are saying, yes, that's what happened, because he certainly did it in front of a lot of people. But getting up and walking around and stretching, quote, an unusual amount. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I mean, when does that become an actionable problem on the plane? Maybe you just want to get up every 15 minutes. Yeah, what if you have phlebitis and the doctor is saying you have to get up, you cannot sit down and be sedentary for more than 15 minutes at a time, for example.
But what if they say the federal law thing where we're going over turbulence and the pilot says you have to sit in a seat until further notice?
But it's always, But I don't see that many. That's not an assault. That you get up, then that could be considered. Yeah, it could be, but flight crew. But if you're getting, I think this boils down to this: something happened between these two people. Did he in fact punch her, or is that not true? He's saying it's not true.
All right, if you are missing a FedEx box, it could be somewhere along the railroad tracks in LA, because boxes and boxes apparently were seen strewn along the LA railroad tracks. And so we've been talking about the cargo ships. They barely get their stuff into port. There are apparently now trucks that are all over the streets. And now this one is a vandalism of some of the boxes, or some of the cargo containers. Cargo containers, that is.
Yeah, people broke in.
They broke in, and I think this was just a matter of time.
Yeah, and so now
cargo was just sitting there.
Right, and so now what is the alternative? What is the answer? You have to have, I guess, armed guards whenever the train is stopped at a siding, waiting for new cars, waiting for a switch, the track to happen. And, so, congratulations. You're right. It's just a matter of time.
Because they know, especially when I was thinking about the trucks that are sitting on the streets around LA. What is stopping people from breaking into those?
And it's no longer the phrase, is now part of yeah. The shortages of some stuff and higher prices expected to continue through the holiday season. I think we all understood that already. Yeah. And we don't know when the supply chain answers will come. It's going to ease up. And they're saying sometime next year. I mean, it will ease up, but they will have more truck drivers because they're lowering the standards, if you will, for truck drivers. It's now 21, and they're going to lower it to, I think, 12. They want truck drivers. Plenty of trucks. There's just drivers right now. And so there's just a mad rush. Bonuses. Federal government will issue some kind of crazy-ass bonus. You sign up and graduate, you get a free house. I have no idea what the program's going to be. There's more federal money flying around than you could ever imagine. And it's our money. Let's do one more.
All right, the Chargers have come up with an agreement to build their new headquarters and training facility at El Segundo. So the team had relocated from San Diego in 2017, and it's been using the temporary facility in Costa Mesa. And the project will go before the El Segundo Planning Commission later this month, and they're hoping that should everything go planned, it would be completed by 2024.
Yeah, and this is campus that was part of Raytheon. They had used it to build whatever Raytheon built there. Apparently, Raytheon was the first microwave oven that was built. First commercial microwave oven was a Raytheon oven. Jeopardy. Final Jeopardy.
You are a phone a friend.
I certainly am. All right, Jennifer Jones-Lee, it's your turn.
A man from Reseda has been sentenced to 25 years in prison for plotting a terrorist attack at a political rally in Long Beach. A district court judge rejected a request by prosecutors for life in prison for Mark Domingo. He was convicted at his trial in August for attempted use of a weapon of mass destruction and providing material support to terrorists. He was arrested in April after he got what he thought was an IED from an undercover agent who's actually posing as a bomb maker. News is brought to you by Reader Hero. Riverside County supervisors are expected to consider the county fire department's plan to start clearing excess vegetation from the Santa Ana river bottom to prevent future wildfires. The supervisors will vote today on supporting the fire department's request for grant money to cover the cost of an environmental impact study. The river bottom is often where fires start because it's very dry. Federal health officials say more than 80% of adults in the U.S. have had at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, but CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says there's still too many people who haven't had any shots.
Currently, over 60 million Americans who are eligible for vaccination remain unvaccinated. If you have not yet been vaccinated, I encourage you to do so.
70% of Americans are fully vaccinated. Officials in Chicago say the city's working on ways to stop increasing shootings. Mayor Lori Lightfoot says gun violence outreach programs that had been put on hold during the pandemic are just getting back up and running.
This is a long fight, not a short fight. This is a fight that we must think and reimagine at every single level, be nimble and thinking about how we can help our residents.
At least 6 people were killed and more than 20 were hurt in shootings in Chicago over the weekend. A rock slide in Malibu has prompted city officials to issue a warning for people to stay away from Little Dune Beach. Building safety and geology staff are checking the area at the end of Cliffside Drive today. Yesterday, Rockfall also led to concerns about unstable cliffs under the balcony of at least one home. And a mansion in Malibu has set a new record in California.
The mansion has sold for $177 million. This shatters the previous record set by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, who paid $165 million for David Beckham's famed Warner Estate in Beverly Hills. Aerial images of this mansion, bought by a billionaire venture capitalist, shows the beachfront property stretches the PCH about halfway between Paradise Cove and Escondido Beach. The lot features multiple guest houses, guard houses, a swimming pool, and a box garden. Deborah Marsh, KFI News.
We're taking a look at your ride. It's getting slower on the 110.
Oh boy, it sure is. Coming up from South LA now, it's always a struggle, but in the elevated carpool or express lanes, there's a car on fire. Now that's really quite a problem because fire department need to get up there and, well, you know what's coming. It's getting slower and slower coming up from the 105. Back to the San Fernando Valley, South 405, south of the 118. Very complicated crash. Caused, the tow trucks were stuck in traffic, so you figure. But even the westbound 118 to the South 405 is getting back up from the 5, so it's slow going all the way around. A little bit of good news now for the southbound 605 at Valley. In between the 10 and the 60, all lanes are open again. But something just went down. I'll check it for you now. If you're driving west on the 91, going towards Long Beach and Compton, west 91 at Cherry before the 710. Problem is popped up there. I'll check it for you. Don't go away. KFI in the sky. Let's get you there faster. I'm Jeff Ball.
The Houston Astros face another must-win World Series game against the Atlanta Braves, where they lead 3 games to 2. First pitch for James Pitch in Houston, set for 5:09 p.m. Pacific time. Max Fried will start for Atlanta, while Houston will put Luis Garcia on the mound. The Anaheim Ducks are coming off a win against the Montreal Canadiens, leading into tonight's home matchup against the New Jersey Devils at 7. And the Canes are right. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports. If you are looking to move out of your house, whether you're downsizing, financial issues, maybe you inherit the home, so the default is to hire a real estate agent, which means you're paying 6% commission. You're also cleaning, painting, and repairing, and then prospective buyers go through your house, and you have to be out of there, and all of your tchotchkes have to go in the closet. Well, how about none of that happening? You get a fair price without any of that hassle. No buyer walkthrough, no 6%, no appraisal, and what if you get paid in cash and fast within 10 days or less? I've just described what directbuyers.com will do for you. Directbuyers.com. This is a company, a local family-owned business, Matt and Janet, who are brother and sister. They're good people. And what they will never do is lowball you, and this is a business that's full of lowballs. They'll give you an honest, no-obligation offer, even $15,000 cash advance before closing to help with your move. Go to directbuyers.com, directbuyers.com, call 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy. Highs will be from the mid-60s at the beaches to the low to mid-70s for Metro LA and OC, mid to upper 70s for the valleys and the Inland Empire. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
Contractor license 1047-781. Duck and Goodrich taught Kenny to do things the right way, not the easy way. And now, every ghetto technician has a digital assistant named Duncan. Digital Duncan is a genius, just like his namesake. Back during the Cold War, the U.S. government came to my dad and said, "We need you to build a giant freezer as a test site and bring it down to 50 degrees below zero." They wanted to make sure their nuclear triggers would function if they had to send warheads to Russia during the wintertime. So Dad designed a cascade system that used weird gases like argon and CO2 instead of Freon. He and I got that system down to 50 degrees below zero in the Nevada desert in the summertime. When the U.S. government needs a genius solution, they ask Duck and Goodrich. And when your ghetto technician needs a genius solution, they ask Digital Duncan. Ghetto has been awarded 114 patents for cool stuff we've invented, and we believe number 115 is on the way. Ghetto, G-O-E-T-T-L, will keep you cool, but it's hard to sell.
Do you need a new water heater? Water Heaters Only, with over 53 years in business, offers low prices, quality same-day service, and 0% deferred interest financing. Visit waterheatersonly.com. That's waterheatersonly.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Spectrum Mobile is reinventing wireless again. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month per line. No contracts, no added taxes or fees. Includes nationwide 5G. Save up to 60% with Spectrum Mobile. Get unlimited on 2+ lines for $29.99 a month. Call 855-438-2999 or visit a store near you. Offer valid for new customers on 2+ unlimited lines. Spectrum Internet required. Savings based on 2-line comparison of unlimited plans among major national carriers as of 9/20/21. Prepaid excluded. Restrictions apply.
During Lowe's Pro-Member event, new members of their Pro Loyalty program get a welcome kit via mail, and every member gets a chance to win amazing prizes. Pro-Member, now through November 24th. Lowe's, the new home for pros.
Termite problems? Search PacificCoastTermite.com or call 800-PACIFIC.
For official rules and more information about contests of this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules.
There's red, blue, and then there's you. You're a free thinker and believe the best idea should win, no matter whose idea it is. At KFI AM 640, we give you all the news you need in a variety of opinions. You make up your own mind. Beholden to no one. Live, local, and independent. KFI AM 640 is made for independent thinkers like you.
KFI AM 640, Bill Handel here on a Tuesday morning, November 2, as we're almost into winter, last bit of fall, and then right into cold, but this is Southern California, so it's one cold, maybe, kind of, when it hits the 50s, that's front page news. Let's do more handle on the news. Jennifer, Wayne, and me. Well, a call for the movie industry to reevaluate its values in the face of the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins is coming from the guy who handed the loaded gun to Alec Baldwin, assistant director Dave Halls. He made a statement to the New York Post and said it's his hope that the tragedy prompts the industry to reevaluate its values and practices. Okay. Or people just do follow the practices that are already in place and follow them. Yeah, what new practices do you need? It's a double hit. The practice would be to never hire Dave Halls. Right, or director again, apparently. Or the cinematographer, or the armorer.
Okay, now check this out. Lisa Chirocco, who is David Hall's attorney, did an exclusive with Fox News just, I don't know, I think within a few hours ago. She claims that it was the armorer who handed the gun to Baldwin, not David Hall.
In the affidavits, it states that my client grabbed the gun off of a prop cart and handed it to Baldwin. That absolutely did not happen.
Okay. We'll know. The witnesses were there. But they followed up and asked her, well, who did hand the gun? And she wouldn't say. Yeah. or didn't say, or couldn't say.
Yeah, so that's a bunch of bull.
So if she doesn't know who did, how does she know he didn't? Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, she can say all...
Generally, you would say, no, he
Right.
didn't hand the gun.
Well, it's
this
a cross.
person handed the
It's
gun.
a cross. Now, I understand reevaluated practices, and the answer is we don't have to reevaluate our
How about
practices.
reevaluate the practice of continuing to hire people who already
Yes.
have been the subject of complaint?
That's a good one, including him.
Yes.
He says, here's the example, me. I don't think he said that. And reevaluating its values. What does that mean? What values are you talking about?
Well, this is, I mean, I get it.
The gun culture?
The germ of the defense. Whether he's going to be able to throw doubt on he was the one who handed the gun,
Right.
I don't know. But the germ of the defense is, it's not me, it's the industry.
No, I understand, but what is the values that he is talking about? We no longer use weapons?
Expediency over safety, I guess.
But that's the practices that were violated on that set. And the director is being blamed by crew members because he would just rush it through. He would eliminate safety meetings. So, for example, if there's a gun involved or any set that's outside and there is physical activity, there's a safety meeting before that. I didn't know that. But they have one. And so, I mean, that was rushed through, or they didn't have it, and that's why the people walked off. We had three of the workers walk off, the union workers just walk off. Because a gun had discharged accidentally? What? That's crazy.
All right, you had teachers in Alhambra Unified School District who held a demonstration yesterday because they say they were being forced to take unpaid leave for refusing to get the COVID-19 vaccine. You had 5 teachers and 52, they call them classified employees, who were put on unpaid leave because they wouldn't get the shots. They say they're trying to stay strong and true to their beliefs.
Mazel tov. Stay strong and true to your beliefs.
And
we're fine with that. Just don't work here.
It's not yet been determined by that particular school district whether unpaid leave eventually becomes fired.
Well, yeah, of course it does. It's someone who is asked to return from work and refuses to. And someone who refuses to vaccinate for public health reasons who's put on unpaid leave. Okay. You know, congratulations. What, you want both? You want, you want both. You want your cake, your vaccinated cake or unvaccinated cake, and eat it too?
Yes. That is what's happened in the somewhat recent history of this country, is it's gone from I want my freedom to make choices to I want my freedom to make choices and no consequences upon me for those choices. That's where we are now.
Yeah, it's, boy, it has life changed so dramatically.
Speaking of consequences for choices, the mayor of New York, Bill de Blasio, said there will be dire consequences for these firefighters who called out sick yesterday if any of them were doing it as a protest and weren't really sick. Now, I don't know if he's going to make every single one of them
bring a doctor's note?
Yeah, but
maybe.
Most of the time when you call in sick, you don't go to the doctor, and that's because it's bad enough to not go to work, and it's not bad enough to go to a doctor.
Yeah, that
you
makes
wake
sense.
up with a
Okay.
cold. You wake up with a mild flu. You wake up, I don't know, you're wrenched the hell out of your ankle and you need to put it up. So most people who call in sick
have a problem.
don't have a doctor's note.
I'll buy
anyway.
that. I'll buy that. But it's just a question of time, because now you have it's twice the average that firefighters turn in sick. That's for starters. So immediately it raises suspicion. And it's just a question of time. That's all.
But the union said, the deadline to be vaccinated was Friday at 5. Some of these people might be people who have side effects from getting vaccinated.
But that they're going to have to prove. At that point, you simply say, okay, maybe you don't have to go, but we need a doctor's note because of this. And we know there's going to be a huge issue when firefighters, number one, refuse to go to fires, or when they do, it's just to cook up some s'mores with the long sticks and the marshmallows. That's another issue.
Wow,
they're going to have to do.
You got to spritz on the firefighters now?
Sure.
Firefighters?
Yeah, because they're not showing up.
How about the trash workers? They apparently are on unpaid leave. They say trash is piling up around New York City. 17% of sanitation workers say, nope, we're not getting vaccines.
Fine, then just don't come to work and you're fired. Then we'll just hire some new
trash worker. I mean, it doesn't take a long time to train a trash worker. It's not like you take a medical board. You take a board to become a trash collector.
You are just making so many friends in the public service sector this morning.
I can't wait to see your house burned to the ground because no firefighters would come, surrounded by piles of garbage that weren't picked up. I'll tell you, if firefighters don't show up...
You want to make it a trifecta and insult the police, too?
Sure. Well, the police don't show up anyway.
And there he goes.
Unless there is some issue of public safety. For example, if there's a burglary, you call the cops. It's 10 hours later when they show up. Now, if you call and say there's a burglar in the house, they show up very quickly. So is that a jab against the police? Or is that a quasi-jab?
Yeah, you're on a roll.
That's a reality check. No, the whole thing, the whole premise here is if you're a public service employee of any type, you don't get vaccinated, fine. Just like you said, here are the consequences. You don't work here. Congratulations. Okay, let's take a break. Yeah. Wow. Okay, this is KFI AM 640. Jennifer.
The views expressed on this show do not represent everybody who works on the show. The CDC is expected to sign off on the first COVID-19 vaccine for younger kids by tonight. Advisors are meeting today to vote on Pfizer shots for 5 to 11-year-olds. Voters in Minneapolis have a key decision to make, and it's being closely watched around the nation. Voters will choose whether to dismantle the police department and put in a new department of public safety. And there's new video out that might solve this viral mystery we've had in SoCal. Remember Jetpack Man that was seen multiple times near LAX? Might not actually be Jetpack Man. Might just be an inflatable balloon that resembles Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. We'll take a look at your drive through Santa Monica with the KFI in the sky next.
If you're one of those folks that are frightened to go to the dentist, and there's plenty out there, there's a phobia about dentists, let me tell you where you can go that really relieves that issue, and that's Cunning Dental. Dr. Cunning has been practicing dentistry for 52 years. Still works for full-time in his late 80s. And he specializes in helping people with that dental anxiety. He's dealt with them since day one. Great bedside or chairside manner, that's important to them. But also, you can either have what's called a twilight sleep, where you're sort of just completely out of it, or full anesthesia. Either way, you can repair, or they'll repair years, decades of neglect in 1 or 2 appointments while you sleep. And it's a general dentistry practice, implants, crowns, root canals, smile makeovers, and a permanent teeth in a day procedure done in 1 day. And while you sleep, and that changes everything. A full mouth of beautiful, gorgeous, permanent teeth. $1,500 off major treatments until November 30th. Restrictions apply. Call for details. Also, $100 off teeth whitening. That expires November 30th. Call 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE, 888-640-SMILE.
Lowe's Provember event is back, and they're thanking pros like you all month long with top values on pro brands like DeWalt and Spyder, online or in stores through November 24th. Lowe's, the new home for pros, U.S. only.
SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy today with highs from the low 60s to the upper 70s. This report is brought to you by Lowe's. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. We've got a crash on the 10.
Well, we sure do. Santa Monica Freeway, anything around downtown Los Angeles turned into a nightmare this morning. The new problem is westbound on the Santa Monica Freeway. Excuse me, westbound down around Normandy. It's getting a little bit west of Vermont, but a whole bunch of lanes blocked, and it's backed up everything into the East LA interchange. Earlier problems on the North 101 past the 4 level. Those are kind of going away, but still a delay coming up from the interchange itself. Again, South 605 got better. There was a problem with Valley. That's long gone. Now, just a little slow from about Washington down. And the big westbound drives, well, they're doing okay. The 210, the 10, the 60, they're all okay. The slowest, of course, the 210 coming away from San Dimas to about Santa Anita. Then things will improve. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jeff Bob.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Connect helps your business grow. Now get 20% off signs, banners, or posters when you spend $75 or more. Explore more at your local Staples or staplesconnect.com. Offer ends 1/1/22. Visit staples.com/services/printing for details. Staples Connect.
San Manuel Casino is changing its name and changing the game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel, with 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new high limit room for 5 elevated gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Details at yamaba.com. Must be 21. Please gamble responsibly.
Hi, we're Hogue. Meet Dr. Robert Lewis. He's a neurosurgeon at Pickup Family Neurosciences Institute who loves camping with his daughter. He is also a nationally recognized expert in minimally invasive brain tumor surgery at Hogue. Dr. Lewis would love to get to know you and is ready to make a positive difference in your family's life. Get to know Hogue. Visit hoguehealth.org and find your physician today.
When Bill and I needed new windows over 20 years ago, we picked a company we thought would do a good job. We were so disappointed.
So we saw a genuine need for a company with strong character, one that people could have faith in.
American Vision Windows was born right then and there.
The best thing about working for American Vision Windows and with customers specifically is having their dreams come true. And we try to accomplish the best job we can to make them happy.
It was a great experience. I couldn't ask for anything better.
I've been in the construction trade for 35 years. The level of quality of products that they use for their prep work was top-notch.
American Vision Windows continues to revolutionize the home improvement industry one customer at a time while changing the lives of our employees for the better. It's so simple.
Happy employees, happy customers.
For a limited time, we pay the tax, plus 0 payments, 0 interest until 2023. Call 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Or visit AmericanVisionWindows.com. Tax based on materials only. On purchase of 8 or more windows. Cannot be combined with any other offers on approved credit. Some restrictions apply. See website for details. Offer expires 12/31/2021. CSLB number 778326.
Hey, it's Gary. Medicare annual enrollment is here, and it's time to keep your Medicare moving forward with SCAN Health Plan. SCAN is a comprehensive Medicare Advantage plan with new cost-saving benefits. Plans for 2022 may include $125 monthly give-back, lower out-of-pocket costs, more included dental coverage, and more. To learn more, call SCAN Health Plan at 1-855-479-7226, TTY 711, or ask your local agent about SCAN. Call SCAN to see if you qualify. SCAN Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in SCAN Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
If you think all personal injury attorneys are alike, you'd be surprised. All law firms are not the same. I'm Susan Owen, managing partner at OPO Law. For over 4 decades, OPO Law has had a 98% success rate on over 10,000 cases. While insurance companies continue to make lowball offers, we go to bat for you to get you the money you deserve. Fierce pursuit to win for you is our specialty, and we've obtained over $1 billion for injury victims. We don't settle your case for what the insurance company thinks it's worth. We settle your case for what we believe it's worth. If you've been injured in an accident, call 888-OPO-WINS. That's 888-676-9467. Or visit opolaw.com. Remember, you don't pay until we win your case.
OPO Law, the law firm insurance companies fear most.
I'm Susan Owen, and I would be honored to handle your case.
Call 888-OPO-WINS today.
The Delta variant is making COVID-19 spread faster and more easily. Variants can be more contagious, aggressive, and deadly. But we know vaccines work. Vaccinated Californians have greater protection against serious illness, hospitalization, and death. We can help stop the spread and end this pandemic. Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Well, I remember covering a game in Miami, and it was 100 degrees on the field, and the sweat was uncontrollable.
Let's just say it was a warm
There
day.
were a lot of paper towels needed in the tunnel to rid.
In the tunnel?
Yeah, that's where the bathroom is, on the field.
Gary and Shannon.
There are times when I feel like we're tiptoeing around saying the things, and then you just step on a thing.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI.
And here we go, Bill Handel Morning Crew on a Tuesday. Let's finish up. Handel on the news, Jennifer Jones-Lee, Wayne, and me. Well, it's official. Robert Durst has been indicted on a murder charge in the death of his first wife, who disappeared almost 40 years ago. It's a second-degree murder indictment.
and there is an arrest warrant now.
I think they know where he is.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it's going to be a fugitive manhunt for Robert Durst.
So what kind of new evidence have they come up with after 40 years?
I don't know, because I still haven't been able to get my hands on the complaint that was filed by the investigator, and of course the grand jury stuff that they continued to do even after the investigator filed the criminal complaint. That's all secret. I don't know. Unless there isn't really any new evidence.
But they're just filing it.
Like, you know what? The court system generally is on a roll against this guy. Why don't we just go ahead and take our shot finally?
Yeah, he's 78 years old, and in prison, got life in prison, and you'd wonder why would they do it again, just in case it's overturned on appeal.
Yes, and also because they want to be able to say also they got justice for their victim, Katie Durst.
Oh, but my Lifetime movie needs new evidence. God, it needs it. All right, Reverend Jesse Jackson has been taken to the hospital in Washington, D.C. Apparently he was helping at a student housing project at Howard University. He fell down, hit his head. Apparently they did a CT scan. That came back normal, but Jackson was kept at the hospital overnight.
Yeah, and he is 80 years old.
And didn't we just do a story that they had COVID?
Yes, and we're hospitalized. Yeah.
Oh, SpaceX was going to send another set of astronauts to the International Space Station, but it had to be delayed. One of the astronauts had a minor medical issue. SpaceX says, number one, it's not COVID. It has nothing to do with COVID. Number two, it's not a big deal, but it's just enough to scuttle the launch. Now they're going to try again on Saturday.
Wouldn't you mention what it was?
Well,
other than let's say it's somewhat delicate. It's got hemorrhoids.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, he's got a big chancre on his throat.
Wow.
Man.
This is why they don't specify. Campbell.
That's a series of words, any one of which would have been too much to hear in the morning.
Let's move on.
You strung them all together. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Hey, some new photos may finally answer the question of, was there really a guy in a jetpack flying above LAX all those times when people reported seeing such a thing? Maybe not. New photos show what appears to be just an inflatable toy that's shaped like a human, floating above, I guess, Holmby Hills, Beverly Hills.
And remember, we brought this up. You have a sighting of this guy on a jetpack, and that's in quotes, at 12,000 feet. What jetpack on the planet can take someone to 12,000 feet or 5,000 feet?
So instead, you have a balloon of Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas floating around, and people think, oh, that is Jetpack Man.
Yeah, there's an incredibly skinny man flying a jetpack around.
A really creepy.
Now, we've all seen jetpacks, and at stadiums they used to do that. At, for example, a Dodger game, and you'd see a guy coming in over the fence, over the wall, the stadium, and then land in the middle of the field. They had about 30 seconds, and then they fall. So how do you get to thousands of feet? You don't.
So probably all those other sightings were also balloons of some type.
Well, no.
Probably not Jack Skellington, because it would have been out of season.
Right, but balloons are fairly easy to see.
Versus how far away you are, and also sometimes people see what they want to see. One person saw it. This is what I think. One person saw a balloon, and boy, it just looks to them like a guy in a jetpack. And then every pilot who saw a balloon, it was in their mind, oh, guys in jetpacks. That's probably what happened.
Fun Disneyland story.
Well, the Pirates of the Caribbean ride had to be shut down, and people were stranded on it, and so employees of Disneyland had to put on those big waders that fishermen wear and go into the waters of the ride and push those boats to land.
Yeah, waist deep.
Waist deep in the big, what is the thing, you see your waist deep in the big, never mind.
The big money?
Yeah, protest song.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many people are going to be singing Yo-Ho, Yo-Ho, A Pirate's Life for Me for the rest of their lives?
The people there never want to hear that. Because the total shutdown was 90 minutes.
Yeah, why?
The first 30 minutes, because I guess they weren't sure how long it was going to take. They kept the music going And
Yeah, that's
people
what
were
they do.
stuck in one place hearing the same thing
by the way,
for 30 solid minutes.
That happened to me on It's a Small World, where I was stuck listening to that song. If you wanna commit suicide, just sing me that song for 2 or 3 minutes, and you're a dead person. That's how absolutely disgusting, horrible, and psychologically damaging that song was for a length of time. All right.
This is a good story. I bet the people, now that it's over, everybody was safe, nobody was in danger. This is actually a story that might have been worth the cost of admission that day.
Okay. By the way, lawsuits?
For what?
And
You
more
had
for
to sit in the
cycle.
boat for
That's
9
correct.
minutes and then they pushed you over to the side and you got
from
out?
someone who has been there, trust me,
okay.
that is a valid lawsuit.
Fair enough.
We're done. Coming up, the new rules, we mentioned this a little bit earlier this morning. The Biden administration issues new rules to curb methane, and that is actually the most potent greenhouse gas that we have, and I'll share that with you. And then Tech Tuesday coming up at 8 o'clock. And then I got a great McDonald's story at 9:30. I want to share all of that with you. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it! Ugh. I'm melting down. This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Remember when you used to have a radio to listen to KFI?
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Lots of fingers crossed. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. American Airlines says it's getting back to regular operations following thousands of flight cancellations and delays. ABC's Marcus Moore says the airline started having problems last week.
Americans blaming high winds Thursday at their largest hub, Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, writing in a note to employees, quote, "We could only use 2 runways instead of the usual 5. The other problem, a lack of staff."
The company says it's increasing its flight crew staff and is expecting operations to be closer to normal starting today. News is brought to you by Applied General Agency. A man from Irvine has appeared in court charged with assaulting a flight attendant on a flight from New York to John Wayne Airport. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi says the man's accused of punching the flight attendant last week on an American Airlines flight.
According to court documents, Brian Chu, who was released on $10,000 bond, said he recently had brain surgery and had psychological damage from an assault last year. He claims the flight attendant got aggressive after he bumped into her.
The flight attendant says the passenger was the aggressor. JPL could be losing many staffers over the COVID-19 vaccine mandate for federal contractors.
A group of employees who oppose the vaccine mandate gathered in Pasadena to protest. This woman says JPL told employees that 1,000 workers have not been entered into the system as vaccinated.
A laboratory of around 7,000 people right now, that could mean 1 in 7 JPLers get fired.
Employees protesting yesterday say under the current mandate, they must be vaccinated by December 8th or face suspension, and they could possibly be fired if they don't get vaccinated while they're suspended. Blake Trolley, KFI.
Open enrollment is starting for the state's version of the Affordable Care Act that covered California. U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra says 80% of people who signed up last year found coverage for less than $10 a month.
One of the things that you should be thinking about when your child needs to go to an emergency room, to a doctor, to a hospital is, am I getting the best care possible? Not, can I afford to do this?
Covered California says more than 1 million people are eligible for comprehensive health insurance with 0 monthly premiums. The LA County Sheriff's Department has cleaned up a homeless camp along San Vicente Boulevard in Westwood.
51 tents were either removed, relocated, or thrown away. Sheriff Villanueva says allowing this camp to grow was a failure of leadership.
It's an unholy alliance of people not willing to do their job.
The sheriff says most of the homeless who were living here in front of the VA have moved onto the VA campus. Others were taken to alternate housing. At least 3 large roll-off dumpsters were filled yesterday morning with furniture, trash, debris, and rotting food. In Westwood, Steve Gregory, KFI News.
The UN Climate Summit in Scotland is expected to discuss the best ways to limit global warming. The president has announced an international effort to protect forests with the help of private investments. Mayor Garcetti is calling on the global community to take hold of action against climate change.
Our world needs hope. The future of our planet depends on us. So let's summon the courage to make this the decade of existential action
and implementing a global Green New Deal.
Garcetti spoke at the UN Climate Change Conference in Scotland yesterday. We're taking a look at your ride now. Jeff, checking the 5.
Boy, you betcha. Good morning. Thanks for letting us ride along with you here. I got 3 unusual problems to warn you about other than the normal morning drive here. First is North 5 going up to Burbank at Colorado just before the 134. That lane's blocked for a long time, and it's really jammed now as you approach the Glendale freeway, the 2 freeway. After that, it's okay. San Fernando Road is in good shape through Glendale. And the West Santa Monica freeway, the West End at Normandy, not far from Vermont. That lane's blocked there. That's jammed into East LA interchange. From around Sears and Soda, Washington Boulevard is looking good. And then Long Beach, or North Long Beach, West End before the 710. Lane's blocked there, and it's back through the 605 on that one. Artesia Boulevard should help you. KFI in the sky helps you get there faster. I'm Jeff Barra.
In Game 6, the Atlanta Braves will try to seal the deal on their first World Series title since 1995. Leading 3-2, they'll start next against the Astros in Houston. Braves manager Brian Snitker says Fried is ready.
He's ready to go. I always feel good when Max pitches. The bullpen's in good shape. Max is